the day. So, before starting off with the meeting, I just want to specify some rules which we had decided in the previous meeting. The first one, we will never talk about gender. The second one, we will not talk about politics. And the third one, we will also not talk about sex. And the fourth and the most important thing, we have to only talk in English in this meeting. No Hindi, no use of Hindi. And I think all of you got these slips. These are known as feedback slips, and at the end of the slip, we have attached the best table topic presenter, best evaluator, and best prepared speech, which you need to, which will need to fill it at the end of the meeting. So, starting off with the meeting, the word of the day is solicit, which means ask for or try to obtain something from someone. For example, he called a meeting to solicit their views. Okay. Do you guys feel some butterflies in your stomach? Anyone? Okay, no, please don't misunderstand me and take it as nervousness. It's not about nervousness. I'm just a bit more excited about this meeting because I went through the same thing when I gave my first CC1 speech in the previous meeting. So let's take this excitement to the next level by calling our next first speaker, Toastmaster Valia Khan. Okay, guys. She is a kind of person who is dipped into chocolate and caramel. So be a bit cautious when you are listening to her speech because you can be very agitated. Please welcome her. Her speech will be evaluated by Pooja Panyani ma'am. Please.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters. I'm standing before you to share a fast-forward journey of my life. Dear Toastmasters, nothing goes wrong and nothing goes waste on the journey of life. Both good and bad experience make your mind and shape your mind and heart in such a way for what comes to next. So, my journey of 1,000 meals started long ago, not very long, just 20 years back, in the greenery of Kampi. I was born as a shy, innocent girl in the month of love, that is February. My parents gave me name Valia, which means God's friends, for which I am grateful. From my childhood, I was very conservative, pigeon-hearted girl. I did my primary schooling from Jain Chatapasi. In my primary schooling, my class teachers gave me that daydream, just because I always enjoyed being in my own shell. So at that time, my only friend was my grandmother. After coming back from school, I used to spend most of my time with her. She's lovely, she's pretty awesome, full of wisdom, recipes and life lessons. She taught me many things, like from identifying right and left pair of shoes to reconcile. Like every commerce parent students, my parents also wanted me to do CA or CS, but in fact my mother made me give CS foundation. I cleared that, but I did not continue with it because I wanted to do something different. So I have chosen CGMA, that is Chartered Global Management Accountant, as my career option, and joined Gurukul when I was in BCom final year. It's been more than a year. I'm part of Gurukul family. Here, the environment of Gurukul is so lively, and I've gained many things here apart from bookish knowledge. Now, when I look back at my past, I get amazed that how I changed from shy, timid, conservative girl to more friendly, social, fun-loving person. Guys, I realized that the only thing which is constant in our life is change. And this change is what made me today to break the ice. So, here I would like to wrap up my speech by the words of Walt Disney that when you wish upon the stars, it doesn't matter who you are. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters. Thank you so much.
Okay, I request all of you to give a feedback to her. Write in the anonymous slip which you bought in the start. So, are you guys a bit diabetic after her speech?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's continue with the meeting. Now the guy whom I'm calling is a bit cute face but a kind of weird personality. He's really cute from my point of view, but he's a bit weird also. So you guys also get to know him a bit. So I call upon Toastmaster Manav Makhija to give his CC1 speech, who will be evaluated by Shruti, Toastmaster Shruti Agrawal.
Well, we all are born with two fears. Does anyone know what fears are we born with? So basically, we are born with two fears. One is fear of falling, and the other is fear of sounds and the noises. So I don't have any either of them. So today I'm going to tell you about some of my fears which happened in the past 18 years, the journey of my life. So good evening everyone, I'm Manav Makhija and I'm standing before you all to deliver the speech of CC1. So I have titled my speech for the day, A Guy with Phobias. So now I'll be telling you about myself and some of the incidents which occurred in this journey of my life. So yes, I'm a normal human being of 18 years, born on the independence of Pakistan, that is 14th of August. So I'm a simple, decent kind of a guy, sometimes shy, and have different kinds of species of fears. So talking about my childhood, uh, I was always a kind of average bright student. Bright in the sense I always was in top 5 ranks, and average because I never stood first. So I was in SFS High School, the typical boys' school where there were no girls, but still I had no fear of girls. So let me introduce my first phobia. My first phobia was aquaphobia. Do you know what is aquaphobia? Aquaphobia is the fear of water. So at the age of 2, I was having asthma. So at the age of 7, it became really severe. So to overcome that, doctors recommended me to swim. But then I had this phobia. I was really frightened by this water. But I was pushed into the water. So for 3 years, I was struggling. I was crying every morning. To still take me to the swimming pool. 3 months passed, but I didn't learn how to swim. So I changed my club, and after 6 months, I started swimming in the shallow pool. My coach helped me a lot. Then one fine day, he told me, "Let's go to the deep." The deep was 13 feet. So I was scared. I cried again after so many days, and I yelled, I shouted. He just told me one thing: try to have faith in me. Trust me. Nothing will happen. So that day, he came with me, along with me in the deep. He laid me on his back and he swam till the mid of the pool. In the mid of the pool, uh, he went underwater and I was the only one left in the middle of the pool. I was shouting and yelling and there was no one to help me. So somehow I managed to come to the edge of the pool. That was the last day when I saw the shallow pool. Every morning I started by jumping in the deep, and soon in 2 to 3 months I participated in a competition, represented that club, and I stood first in the city. So this way I overcome the fear of water. The second one which I'm going to tell is about the fear of opinions. It is known as allodoxophobia. So in my 10th standard, my grades were really low. So my principal mom called me and asked me to have faith in myself. So there was only 1 month left. I thought I should not bother about who thinks negative about me or whatever people think. I should have faith in myself. I studied for a month and I secured 86%, which I thought was satisfying for me. So like this, I ended up with my schooling life. Then after that, in 11th, 12th, I made another decision to go from a state board school to CBSE school. My parents stopped me to do that. My teachers and friends also told me that you'll not be able to study in a CBSE school. Still, I made that decision. That day, I was feared of making decisions. So I joined Jain International School, 11th and 12th. That was really happy. Then I joined Gurukul, this happy place, and again secured 86%. And that day I thought that I can make decisions on my own. So another phobia which I'm going to introduce is the phobia. The phobia is known as the fear of failure. In the recent past, I faced that. While I was attempting for an exam, I had prepared for it for months. But then, after so many practices and after so many things, I lacked confidence and I ended up failing. That day, I thought and I realized that do the things you fear and the fear will disappear. So now I'm up for the challenges, I am up for the failures, and I accept them as the challenge. Sometimes I'm a bit lazy, as the number 8. As the number 8 lays down, it becomes infinity. So I'm the kind of a guy who is religious. I'm a kind of a guy who is confident at times. But then yes, this was a bit of me. And one fear I'll add upon is the fear of speaking in front of public, which will be overcome by Toastmasters Club. So yes, here I am. Thank you. Thank you.
So, I told you guys he's a person with a cute face with a weird personality. See how many phobias he has. So, the last CC1 speech of the day, which would be given by a universal brother, Toastmaster Rishabh Surana. He's more than a brother for me, and I know that he will explain himself in a bit more nice way. All the best.
His feedback.
Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry. I request all of you to give him a feedback. For the guests who came a bit late, you need to fill this anonymous feedback form for the person who gave the speech in front of you. He's the toast. You need to tell him how good he did, or what are the areas where he needs to improve more. It needs to be anonymous. You don't need to write your name. So please write a I request you to write a feedback.
They've turned late and not seen the first one or two, giving a vote for them.
Okay.
After every speech, 1 minute for the evaluators.
Yes.
And you can take the feedback and give it later on, so there's no rush for the feedback.
Okay.
But for the evaluator, it's very important.
Guys, done with the feedback, you can give it to me. Guys, you need to hurry up a bit. Okay. Again, I welcome Toastmaster Rishabh Surana to give a speech.
academic marks of a person doesn't define his character or his personality. Good evening, Toastmasters. My name is Rishabh Surana, and I have been a 7th class failure to All India rank holder at SEMA certificate level. I would like to share instances of my life from when I started Gurukul. 1.5 years back, I started as an intern at Gurukul, and my roles were from a doubt solver. My friends, a 7th class failure, a doubt solver. Then a faculty, again, a 7th class failure, a faculty teaching the uh, students who scored high in in their schools. Then I became a chief administrator. Friends, I would like to share some of my qualities that I have. The one is hard worker. Whether it is solving the questions, the difficult questions of my academics, to whether it is solving difficult questions of my academics, sorry, ma'am. Whether it is solving difficult questions of my academics or trying to get how to use my Apple devices, I try to get it them I try to get it done by myself instead of taking help of someone else who know. So, what is the benefit of this? I get to understand how to do that work in a better way than it would have been other way. The next quality which I want to share is that I am a daydreamer. By daydreamer, I would sometimes I go to into fantasy world, and after an hour I come back and I say where that hour of my day went. Then, but there is something good about this because when things come to creative thinking, I find my commode the best place where I get the best ideas, and I suggest Anup sir the ideas which I have got that time, and and they are really good. The next quality which I want to share is the leadership quality which I have. Many a times, even at Gurukul, at orientation, I was a leader at orientation batch of ICAI. I've played leadership role many times. It helps me to understand various aspects of life, like understanding humans, how to get things done by different peoples, and so get different things from people. All these things, by playing leadership role again and again, helps me to develop as a good personality. Uh, why I've discussed these three qualities, I have many, but because I want to share some of my experiences or learnings from my life. Number one, your failure in one aspect of your life doesn't mean that you are of no use. You can always search for strengths, and you can always search for strengths you have, the capabilities you have, and develop yourself and prove yourself in front of the world. Second thing, uh, you should not take your weaknesses negatively. Like mine is daydreaming. Had I been taking this as weakness, I would have never used this for creative ideas. I would have never used for planning my day. So you should always think that weaknesses can you can develop strengths from your weaknesses. The next learning, you should know how to manage your life, because while playing a role of a leader, I always skip other aspects of my life like friends, families. I just focus on one aspect of the work which I'm doing, the work which I'm leading. So that's all, my friend. That's all, Toastmasters. Thank you.
I request all the Toastmasters to write the feedbacks and give it to me. The Toastmasters should run it. And again, we found another fantasy boy in the whole Toastmasters.
Yeah, I was about to say this. Why last time why everyone kept pointing out.
So there's another person joining me.
My club is proliferating.
Yeah.
There are different versions of fantasy.
can have a session on fantasy.
Exactly. I know.
I would need it.
We will make sure that Nandini is the speaker.
Excuse me, I have this like
No cross.
Huh?
This is just not done. No cross talks in Toastmasters. You have to be absolutely.
Sorry.
Don't take me otherwise. I said no cross talks because that is the rule of Toastmasters. Basically because a lot of thinking process has to go on when Toastmasters.
Thank you so much. So there's a rule in our life: we make mistakes and we learn from it. So we have made a mistake and we'll learn from that mistake now. Thank you so much. And now moving on to our next stage. Our students have also learned from the previous mistakes of their previous Toastmasters speech of CC1, and they have moved on to the another level now. So I just want to see how they perform now, and I'm actually very excited about them. Now calling upon our fantasy queen who has been named from our previous meeting of Toastmaster. So please, Nandini, she will be presenting her CC2 speech today. Please, Nandini. All the best.
So first of all, thank you so much for this lovely introduction. I love when people relate me with fantasies because that is what my life is. My life is fantasy. So anyway, I'm here to present my CC2 today. Let me begin with a story. So a couple of days back in the evening, I was just sitting with my father and talking, just having some random chats. And I received Chitwan sir's message saying that the Toastmaster meeting has been shifted ahead by a day. And I don't know for what reason I started panicking that, oh, Friday, it is not Saturday, it is on Friday. Because anyway, I know had it been Saturday, I would have prepared it a few hours before. So similarly, I just asked him for a suggestion that what should I speak on, because preparing speech, I think that preparing speech is easy when you get the topic. Now when you have to make a topic, it becomes a complicated thing for me. So we just discuss some random topics like media and social life, whatever. And our train of thoughts led to a different track. And we completely forgot about this, and I went to my room and I slept. So later that night, I had a dream in which I was giving my CC2, and I imagined everything right like this. We all sitting here, Rishabh bhaiya taking pictures, and Chitwan sir evaluating everybody here, how you're sitting and whatnot. So in that, I was speaking about old memories. So guys, today I am Nandini Trivedi and I would like to speak something on old memories so that later in futures I can tell to my children and my grandchildren that yes, I made my dream come true. So isn't it like glorious when you just take out your box of memories and just relish all those moments which you have spent? Let's see, we take an album and just flip through the pages. I feel so happy looking at myself in a very tiny little frock with a completely outdated fashion which was that time's trend. But it feels good. I still admire those small dresses. I had my stuffed toys, my dolls, my everything. How nicely my parents used to hold me in their arms. Now if they try, I God forbid they shouldn't. Anyway, so be it your school times, your then best friend, you may not be able to recognize them if they are not your friends now. Then be it anything, your first annual concert, sports day, first medal, like it is also exciting. Now it gives us chill in my spine when I think about all this. Everybody has so many memories, I'm sure, and I like to preserve my memories. Like if you give me, for example, the first chocolate which my crush gave me when I was in school, I still have the wrapper. So I like to keep things, I like to preserve things, and whenever I get bored and I open it, so I feel like, yeah, okay, this is that time. How nice, right? Imagine if you all went on a weekend. Let's say you all went to Manali and you saw a very beautiful wall hanging there, and you bought it and you hung it on the wall of your room. Now years passed, it has become little outdated, so you shifted it place to where it is not much noticeable. Now suddenly you come and see to the wall and you think, okay, yes, I brought it from Manali. That was such a nice time. We had this, we done that, we and so and so. So whenever my mother tells me to clean the room, what I do is I take stuff out. I keep looking at the pictures, my boxes, memory boxes, and I spend whole day looking at them, admiring them, and making myself happy. And I keep them as they were. So my mother will say, "What is the use of this? You're just wasting your time." But she doesn't know how nice I feel doing that. Maybe because she shifted her home now. Had she been in her house, like her parents' house, she would do the same thing. So moving on from this, like it is always good when we remember the previous times rather than concentrating in our future, because we cannot predict what happens in the future. It is the past which we know how it was and how it is going to help us to move ahead in life. As I was speaking about, like, imagine going to Manali. So we all bring gifts from there for our families and friends. Like, I'm sure everyone does. Like, I does, my parents does, my friends brings things for me. So lately I was reading this book, Everything by Nicole Yoon, in which I had a curiosity. I always thought that why do we buy gifts when we go out? So there is this character who says that it is not about the thing or the money you spend, it's just about remembering the remembering. So this thing is quite tricky, but when you go to the deep, it really has a very nice, beautiful, and deep meaning. Remembering the remembering. Yes, at least I remember in my happiest time. If I'm remembering a person, that means the person is very special in my life, right? Because we all remember people when we need them. We don't remember them when we are happy. So I think memories are the thing apart from fantasies, which I also like. I mean, fantasies is my word, but memories has a special place. So that's all for today. Thank you.
I request all of you to write feedback for Toastmasters and Meet Baby.
I was standing.
Yes, ma'am.
The marriage is there. We are the beginners. We are the founder and development.
Mrs. Ishwar,
Alright.
yes, she rejected me. She said I want to answer trial, but I could not make it because
Angie areas. We were the founder and development. River is left now. Just like she's very close to our heart.
Now, continuing with our meeting, the next girl who is going to present her CC2 speech has been misunderstood by a single word. Guess what? Foodie. You know, she mentioned the word foodie in her first speech, and people misunderstood. Like, she's a foodie, so she'll eat so much of things. But she was specifying about, I eat less, but I eat variety of food. So people, let's just clear this misunderstanding and call her upon for her next speech. Toastmasters, आपको बोल दिया.
Good evening, Toastmasters. So here I'm standing before you presenting my CC2. Excited? So am I. I would like to ask you a basic question. Like, I was surprised when almost everyone who delivered their CC1 or their speeches mentioned the word in the speech, dreams. almost everyone, starting from Nandini to Rishabh, Bhaiya and all. Yeah, I'm sorry. Nandini called herself a dreamer. Rishabh, Toastmaster Rishabh Surana, called himself a daydreamer. What do you mean by dreaming? I would like to ask you that. Please answer.
Imagining stuff
Okay.
without a consciousness is dream.
So, I am sure that everyone must have at least one dream in the lifetime. Sitting here, I hope so. So, I chose the topic dreams for today's speech. I thought about different topics, but I thought about family as a topic too. But my family member suggested me the topic should be something which you can relate to. Not us, of course. You will be discussing us over there. That will be embarrassing for me. For them sitting there, they made me choose the topic dream because I dream a lot. Dreaming is a thing which motivates you, either in a positive way or if you dream something which you think is not possible and you make it possible, that's the thing you achieve in your life. As Toastmaster Nandini Trivedi said, she dreams a lot. She took us into the past zone. So I'm speaking about dreams and taking everyone into the future zone, completing the whole cycle. Dreaming. Everyone dreams. Let's talk about dream in a scientific way.